Hello, how are you guys? I hope you guys are doing good. On today's video, I am going to be addressing married men who think that it's just okay for them to mess around with women when they are married. And they think that there are no consequences to that as long as you make a chick sign an NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement. Everything is going to be sorted. You are not going to be followed with anything. That is far from the truth. Now, when you see that there is a problem in society, it is very important to look at both sides of the coin. And whilst you're doing that, it is very important to be fair. Now, it's not going to help us in any way, shape, or form to focus on one party and forget the other party. It takes two people to cheat, not one party. So it's very important to address both parties. I made a video about Mhlali Ndamase a few days ago. If you haven't watched it, please go and watch it. And I did not dive really deep into Mike. And in today's video, I was like, what, I'm just gonna address this behavior. And we see that this is happening a lot. And men are not being put under scrutiny. They are just forgotten for some odd reason in all of this. Now, I just want to fully start with this. It's one thing to fool yourself, your family, your wife, as well as your friends. But it's another thing to fool God. That's a different ball game when you are now fooling God. Why? Marriage was designed by God. It was not designed by the government of this country. It was designed by God. So marriage is sacred. You know what that means. It means that the consequences that you are going to face after breaking the vows and breaking every word that you family declared, the consequences that come after that are not going to be passed down by the government only. It means that judgment from God himself is going to be passed down to you. God designed marriage, not the other way around. So I know that some married men, they don't really look at marriage that way. They think that, it's just a sense of security. I get myself a woman who's going to take care of me and my kids, and all I have to do is just go and make more money and come back home and do as I please in the meantime. That's far from the truth. And if you are a married man and right now you're thinking that going outside your married and messing with other women, it's okay, you have another thing coming your way. I find it weird that we think that some men who do wrong, they get away with it. But we really don't look at the aftermath of their actions. That is why we think they get away with everything. And that is far from the truth. Look at DJ Black Coffee. Right now he's up and down, going to court, trying to appeal. Because why? He thought that he got away with, breaking his marriage, messing with other women. He thought he got away with it. But the reality is that he did not get away with it. And that goes to a lot of people. I can make like countless examples. The bottom line is you never get away with anything in life. There's no such a thing of like, I did 1, 2, and 3 and I got away with it. No, the consequences might not be instantly, but they are definitely coming. The consequences are definitely coming your way, and they know your address. And honestly speaking, there is a harsh reality and consequences that you are gonna get for breaking God's sacred thing. You are gonna receive the harshest reality and consequences ever. And I don't think that is being talked enough about, but that's the true reality of this thing. Remember that there is a creator after all. We are just a creation. So whether we like it or not, there are principles that were laid with the foundations of this world that we discredit and we make our own laws. But that does not make those principles that were laid by the creator of this world irrelevant. So now what I want to really say is that For women out there who really find it hard to believe that, speaking of marriage, guys, let me just quickly say this. On my research, as I was doing a research on marriages, I found out that when you are married, there are spiritual benefits that are attached to you being married, whether you're a man or a woman. Just as when you are a virgin, there are benefits that comes with you being a virgin. There are spiritual benefits that comes with you being pure. So so in other culture, you would even be surprised by their practices. In some other cultures, you will find that when maybe a cow is sick, they will ask a virgin to jump that cow, and the following day, the cow would be alive, healthy, up and running. And you will be asking yourself, how did that happen? There are certain spiritual benefits that are tied to you being pure. There are certain benefits, married men, that are tied to you being a married man. God knows that you are a man who has to provide and lead your family. So obviously, God is gonna give you divine provision to make sure that your family is well kept, your family is safe. That is why when you are a man, when you are single, there is no lady that looks your way. They don't care about you. Wait until you get married. Now ladies are gonna start turning their heads every time you come around them. It is not because you are handsome. No, it's because of that light and that divine intervention that you are working with. And a lot of men, they misconstrue or misinterpret this, thinking that, oh wow, maybe I'm handsome, maybe I'm this and that. No, you have it all wrong. Their sole purpose when they are trying to get inside your marriage, their sole purpose is to destroy, and not because they want you because you are now handsome. No. I've heard men who were like, when I was still single, nobody wanted me. But now that I'm married, every girl wants me. Suddenly they want me. Why is that? And you will find that in some men that are like, there's a group of men who are filthy rich. When I'm talking about filthy rich, guys, I'm talking about someone whose wealth can sustain 5 generations to come without adding any assets. So these people, what they have in common is what? They are all married. And as married as they are, you are required to not mess around with anyone. It's their standard that we don't want a man who cheats. Because if you can cheat on your wife, the person whom you sleep next to every night, how can we trust you to be around us? How can we trust that you're not going to steal from us? So some filthy rich men, they have those standards and those principles around them that we don't tolerate a cheating man. If you can't keep your zip and your pants together, then you're not going to be one of us. You're not going to be part of the group. So that's how sacred marriage is. Now, whilst on the topic, I want you as a man, if you're a married man and you are thinking that when you are messing around, it's just nothing deep, you're not going to be followed by consequences after that. I want you to know that in my research, as I was reading the Bible, I found out that 2 things stood out that God hates. These 2 things, it's adultery as well as prostitution, a prostitute. And you have to ask yourself, why does God hate adultery? Why is that? You have to ask yourself. Adultery and prostitution, it has a lot of similarities, one of which they open a door. Now, when you are a married man and you're cheating on your wife, you might think that no, it's not big of a deal. You're gonna apologize to your wife. No, you're missing the important spiritual parts of that, the spiritual implications of you cheating. You are opening a door, a spiritual door that is not only gonna affect your family. So that spiritual door that you've opened is not only gonna affect your family, but it's gonna affect your lineage as well as the next generation and the next generation. It goes like that. The cycle goes like that. When you dip your hand in a honey pot, yes, you're gonna get a hold of honey, but when you're pulling your hand out, it's not only honey that's gonna come with you, that you're gonna come with, but the bees are also gonna come with you. That's what happens spiritually when you mess with other women whilst you are a married man. Yes, you're gonna dip your hand in the honey pot, but what comes out with that, it's not only honey that is dripping in your hands, it's also bees that are gonna be following you around for the rest of your life. as long as you have that honey with you. So that's what happens spiritually. A lot of these baddies and a lot of these influencers, we all know that a lot of them, this lifestyle of theirs is sustained by a lot of married men. So that person can't have a body count that is less than 10. It's impossible. These slay queens have to make sure that they juggle at least 3 married men to fund their lifestyle, because they have to go on vacations, they have to buy all these materialistic things, and they can't have one man doing that. They have to have different men doing that. So imagine a person who has a body count that surpasses 50, and you are getting into that. What do you think is going to happen? So you think nothing's going to come out from that because what, you sign an NDA? That is foolishness. Whatever that person has, you're also going to take that with you to your family, as well as to introduce it to your lineage. Whatever spirits that woman is operating with, you are also taking it with you. So a lot of these baddies and a lot of these influencers, they're not going to tell you this, but they are really deep into dark spiritual things. They consult, they go to certain altars. Abanye babo, they even do this thing, what is it called, uktwala, so that they have this, whatever animal that they have inside of them, whatever spiritual animal they have inside of them, it attracts married men who have money. And you'll be asking yourself, why is so and so always attracting married men who have money? Then you have your answer right there. So these women, they do dark things that you don't know of, because you see a pretty face, a beautiful body, you don't think much. So I really ask myself, are married men who are doing this thing, aware of all of these spiritual implications, or they're just like thinking, oh, it's not much of a big deal? If you think it's like that, you are fooling yourself. These women would literally bath themselves with certain herbs, and when you get into her house, she looks all clean, but you don't know what she was using and putting inside her water before you came in, and you're thinking you're just gonna leave the same. It does not work like that. So for a married man to think that diving, like changing girls like it's socks, it's for fun, it's for the fun of it, you have another thing coming your way. So I want you as a man to really search the spiritual consequences of messing with other women, and really be honest with yourself. You will find the truth in all of that. So some women are not as innocent as they look. They're not. And they're not going to tell you that, I use this and this and that. So you are not only endangering yourself, but you are endangering your wife, your kids, as well as your family. And when I say you're also endangering yourself, is that some of these women, they use really strong dark things that after you met this woman, after you've engaged with this woman, your whole life turns upside down. Your business deals are not going well. Your wealth is like it's getting drained by something that you do not see. Like money can't stay with you anymore. You used to get deals here and there, like left, right, and center. But after that engagement with so and so, you are no longer the same. So some men, they forget to mention that when they are having their own conferences, where they're like, you know what, man, I think that you can make a baddie sign an NDA and she's not gonna point anything back to you. You are forgetting to discuss what are the spiritual implications of these guys. I get the physical part, but what are we attaching ourselves spiritually? That is very important, because you have to look at all four sides of the square. Anyway, guys, I think I have this on today's video, and I really want women who are married to look at Christy and Desmond's situation and how Christy handled the whole infidelity situation. Remember that if a man cheats on you and you forgive him, he's gonna do it again. Men are very good in pushing boundaries, and if you allow him to push the boundaries and you educate him that even if he puts you through hell and back, you are still gonna stay, he's gonna do exactly that. You have to bear that in mind. It is very important to prioritize yourself, put yourself first, and never stop dreaming, never stop growing. You'll thank me later. Anyway, guys, I'll see you on my next upload.